The Lighthouse of Tomorrow, the light that was already here. This is a story about three Angelteers who arrive at a seaside town where everyone is preparing for dangers that might happen before sunset. Their 17th miracle-minded adventure begins when they discover that fear keeps borrowing from tomorrow and that love can only be seen and extended where they are now. The three Angelteers reach Tomorrow Bay under a bright sky. Villagers hurried through the streets carrying ropes, buckets, umbrellas, helmets, and emergency sandwiches. Spider Monkey stopped a woman dragging three anchors. Planning a voyage? No, preparing for the afternoon. What happens this afternoon? We don't know yet. Howler Monkey pointed to a tower covered in warning flags. Possible trouble watch. Squirrel Monkey studied the board. Possible rain. Possible wind. Possible argument. Possible shortage of pie. Spider gasped. The pie situation is serious. The harbor master handed each Angelteer a brass telescope. To scan the horizon for whatever might go wrong, he said. Howler lifted his. I see a cloud. The harbor master rang a bell. Cloud! Everyone ran faster. Spider looked through his. I see a boat. Boat! Another bell rang. Squirrel lowered his telescope. Does anything ordinary ever happen here? Ordinary things are exactly how trouble sneaks up on you. At the end of the pier, a little boy sat beside a basket of seashells. He was crying. Spider sat beside him. What happened? My father is taking a fishing boat out tomorrow. Squirrel asked, Is there a storm coming? No. Is the boat damaged? No. Then what are you afraid of? The boy pointed toward the warning tower. Something could happen. Squirrel felt the pull of the thought. Something could happen. It could always happen. A faint fragrance of salt and jasmine drifted from beside the pier. He breathed in. What am I feeling? Uneasy. Howler lowered his telescope. Me too. Squirrel asked inwardly, What is this for? He noticed how much of the town was living in a future that had not arrived. He looked at the boy. What would love see here? No prediction came. No promise that tomorrow would unfold exactly as anyone wanted. Squirrel saw a frightened child sitting alone while his father repaired nets nearby. He nodded toward the fisherman. Maybe love sees who is here now. The boy looked over. His father smiled and waved. The boy ran to him and began sorting nets beside him. No speech was needed. Spider looked at the water. So love doesn't tell us nothing difficult will ever happen? Squirrel shook his head. That would just be another prediction. Howler asked, Then what does love do with the future? Maybe it doesn't live there. Just then, the warning bell rang again. Possible high tide! Villagers rushed toward the seawall carrying sandbags. The Angelteers followed. The tide was rising normally, but near the dock, a loose plank had begun lifting with the water. Spider noticed it. That one actually needs attention. They repaired it. No panic. No prophecy. Just something useful to do now. The harbor master stared. How did you know which danger to handle? We didn't, said Squirrel. We stopped trying to handle all the imaginary ones at once. Howler held up a hammer. This was more helpful than worrying about pie. The harbor master looked. A baker had boarded up his shop. A gardener had covered every flower. A woman had canceled dinner with her sister because they might argue. The harbor master took down a warning flag. What should I put up instead? Spider thought. How about what is here now? The flag went up. People began looking around. The baker opened his doors. The gardener uncovered the flowers. The woman walked toward her sister's house. Nobody became careless. Sailors still checked ropes and fishermen still watched weather. But fear no longer had to rehearse every possible tomorrow. At sunset, the boy and his father sat on the pier. The father said, You seem quieter. The boy nodded. I was trying to be with tomorrow. And now? I'm with you. The three Angelteers watched the sun turn the water gold. Squirrel felt the old question arise. What if tomorrow? He smiled before it finished. What would love see here? Spider beside him, Howler humming softly, a harbor settling into evening. This moment did not need tomorrow's permission to be peaceful. They stood. There was somewhere else to go now. So they went. Miracle-minded practice. What would love see here? May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.